Let's go. Enemy sighted. They are small and girlish. Stand resolute!
Not the first person's mind I've blown.
Wow, this game is very good and also funny. Those were my first thoughts when I started Jagged Alliance 3. It's a strategy role-playing game where you manage a group or groups of mercenaries. The game is set in Grand Chien. I think that's the French for big dog. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. It's a fictional country somewhere in Africa. The story is easy to follow. The country's president goes missing and the paramilitary force known as the Legion seizes control. Now, it's up to you to hire and manage mercenaries to fight the bad guys and liberate the country of Grand Chien.
I will sneak up like a tree falling in the forest.
Developed by Hamimont Games, who also made Tropico 4 and 5, Surviving Mars, and lately Stranded Alien Dawn. Jagged Alliance 3 has the mood of an old action movie of the late 90s or early 2000s, something like The Expendables or The A-Team. Speaking of the A-Team, you'll probably start off with the B or even the C team because of the limited funds that you have. You start by looking at mercenary profiles, and if you find someone that you like, then you offer them a contract. Mercenaries in Jagged Alliance 3 are all unique, they are all voiced, and they have personalities. Even a rookie merc can be deadly if played correctly. It is recommended that you hire mercenaries with different specialties, like a marksman so you can land shots more often, a doctor to heal your squad, a mechanic to hack and repair stuff, a leader to train militias effectively, and an explosive expert to disarm mines and also use grenades effectively. But it's not really required. You can hire an all-marksman squad and you'll be fine if you know what you're doing. I don't recommend this though if you're new to this genre or tactical games in general. Performance. Let's start with performance. Jagged Alliance 3 performs really well on my machine, which is a little dated by now. Play this on an RTX 2080 with 32 gigs of RAM and an i7. I had to make a few changes in the settings, but otherwise, performance was solid with some FPS drops here and there depending on the map and what was going on. You'll find lots of settings to tweak depending on what you need. This is what I want to see in the options screen of a PC game in 2023. Difficulty. Jagged Alliance 3 is a challenging game even on normal difficulty. If you're not patient and don't strategize, you'll probably have a hard time. This game won't hold your hand, but that shouldn't discourage you from playing this. I think the difficulty settings are fair. There are options to lower it if you want to. There's even a forgiving option that lets your squad heal and repair quickly and gives you more income. You can also crank up the difficulty if you feel it's too easy for you. I played this on normal difficulty without the forgiving option, and the first few fights were challenging, but once I got the hang of it, succeeding fights were like a cakewalk. Well, almost. And not all of them though. You also need to manage your funds wisely. Use money on a lot of things. Paying your mercenaries, buying very limited supplies of guns, ammo, grenades, magazines, and more. You can have a steady income by capturing mines, but those can be depleted. Gameplay. Jagged Alliance 3's gameplay can be divided into 3 parts. First is the stat view. You pull out your iPad from 2001. Yes, I know the iPad was released in 2010, but I'm calling this an iPad. Here, you can view the world map, which is made of tiles. You can think of the tiles as an area or sector of the world map, which you can actually travel to. You can manage your mercs here, such as viewing their stats, checking more detailed info about them, learn new perks when they level up, renew their contracts, hire additional mercs, and more. You can also perform operations like scouting nearby tiles, which reveals important landmarks on them, and you'll probably get some supplies too, or get injuries if your scouts get unlucky. You can repair equipment, heal wounds, or maybe do some R&R after a hard day's work. More operations will be available depending on the map and your story progress. The second part of gameplay is when you are in an area. You explore the map in real time. You can find loot such as meds, parts, weapons, grenades, and more. You can also interact with NPCs and objects in this mode. The third part, which is the part that I like the most, is the combat. Combat is turn-based. Combat starts when the enemy detects you or you start blowing things up. You can perform stealth kills, and if no one sees the body, then you're free to keep exploring the map in real time. During combat, you and the enemy can use covers. Covers can be destroyed or penetrated depending on your weapon and the cover. Your mercs can use different stances such as stand, crouch, or prone. You consume an action point every time you change stance, but you'll want to change stance anyway. If your merc is standing, you'll easily get hit during the enemy's turn, but you can see more. If you're crouched and behind cover, you're not easy to hit, but your view will be a little obstructed. Prone stance makes you harder to hit, but if you're behind a wall, you'll shoot through it. So part of my strategy during combat is to get to a good position that has cover, shoot, then crouch or prone before ending my turn. Inventory management and weapon modding. I want to quickly highlight inventory management and weapon modding. This is an RPG, and inventory management is a substantial part of the game. Each merc has different limited number of inventory slots. You can only carry a handful of items, which I think is just about right. You have to decide what weapons to use and consumables to keep and scrap the rest. This is not a magical RPG where you have a magic bag to carry anything and everything. Or is there? What many won't realize right away is that you actually have a sector stash, and it seems unlimited. A sector is a tile on the world map. You can only access the sector stash via the sat view and press the corresponding key. I think the default key is H. I changed mine to another key. So you don't have to worry about dropping items on the ground. Keep the items you need in your merc backpack and stash the rest. Weapon modding in Jagged Alliance 3 is great. You can customize your weapons using parts or scraps and other items that you loot or get from scrapping other items. Different weapons have different number of mods that you can install. Some mods will increase clip size but also increase action points needed to reload. Some mods like the suppressor will enhance your crit chance and silent attacks. Others enhance accuracy, and there are many more options depending on your weapon. You only need to have a merc with high mechanical stat to increase your success rate of installing the mod. If you fail, the weapon will lose durability, but you can always repair it. Fun factor: Jagged Alliance 3 is really fun. I'm having a blast playing it, and I think I'll do a few more playthroughs so I can try higher difficulties and hire a different group of mercenaries, and maybe I can manage my funds wisely the next time around. If you're a fan of the genre and like similar games, then this might be up your alley. This is a really good tactical RPG with unique, interesting, and funny characters, great weapon customization, a good story, and a really well done and deep turn-based combat. Jagged Alliance 3 is a must-buy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Check out these other videos and subscribe for more gaming content.
Try to become hard to see. I will shoot at enemy when available.